Authorization is about permissions, not proof of identity. Now let's talk about one of the most critical concepts for both the exam and your career. This is about understanding who does what when it comes to security governance. There's a fundamental division of labor between senior management and the security team. And if you confuse these roles, you will get questions wrong. Let me make this crystal clear. Senior management, the board of directors, the CEO, the executive leadership, they own the security program. They are responsible for setting the organization's risk tolerance. They decide how much risk the organization is willing to accept in pursuit of its objectives. They approve the budget for security initiatives. And here's the key, they are ultimately liable. When a breach happens, it's not the security analyst who gets sued, it's the CEO and the board. They own the risk. Now, the security practitioners, the CISO, the security managers, the analysts, the engineers, they are responsible for implementing the security program. They advise senior management on risks and recommend controls. They execute the strategy. They configure the firewalls, write the policies, and respond to incidents. They manage the security function. But they do not own the risk. They manage it on behalf of senior management. This distinction is absolutely critical. Let me give you an example. Suppose an organization decides not to implement encryption on a particular database because the performance impact is too high. The CISO presents the risks to the CEO, explaining the potential impact of a data breach. The CEO, after reviewing the business impact, decides that the performance cost outweighs the risk and chooses not to encrypt. 6 months later, a breach occurs, and customer data is exposed. Who is ultimately responsible? The CEO. The CISO did their job by advising and making recommendations. Senior management made the decision and accepted the risk. They own the liability. Now here's an exam question you might see. Who is ultimately responsible for ensuring that an organization's security policies align with business objectives? Many people will say the CISO. But the correct answer is senior management. The CISO advises and implements, but alignment with business objectives is a strategic decision that rests with leadership. Another question. A security policy is consistently violated by employees, and the CISO wants to implement stricter technical controls. However, the budget request is denied by the board. What should the CISO do? The CISO should document the risk, present it clearly to the board, and accept their decision. The CISO cannot override the board. They manage risk within the boundaries set by leadership. A tip for you, when you see questions about responsibility and accountability, look for who has the authority to make final decisions. That's usually senior management. And here's a pitfall, don't assume that the CISO is always the answer for leadership questions. The exam wants you to understand that security is a business function, and business leaders own business decisions.